Right now, a UW free speech survey has been delayed. The reasons why coming up.
And we finally have the gift of sunshine. We'll talk about how long to expect it coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander.
And I'm Julian C. Rice.
It was a good sunrise, Julian, today.
I know, we had to start off with a little bit of a hesitation there, but yes.
We got a sunrise.
Finally. It has been a long time coming. We finally get the gift of sun because it has been dreary and it has been cloudy. But as you're waking up this morning, folks, that's right, that big ball in the sky of gas and nitrogen and hydrogen is sitting pretty over Madison this morning. However, conditions for us aren't too bad, but they're still on the chillier side as we're kicking things off. 34 degrees as of right now. Feels like it's 29. With some little bit of winds coming in from the northwest. That's going to be the theme throughout today. As temperatures will rise into some pretty comfortable conditions throughout the rest of today. We will start to see those northwesterly winds to still try to add a bit of some chill. 34 degrees for Madison, Janesville, and 32 into Platteville for this morning, with wind speeds still into the single digits, but the upper single digits for areas mainly to the south. Planning out today, just know we are looking at plenty of sunshine for us, and we will look into those middle upper 40s as we get into the afternoon and evening hours as well. Three things we're going to need to know, though. We are looking for a slow warm up this weekend. The temperatures will be above normal through the next couple of days, especially for Sunday and Wednesday, but we are looking at more spring showers and even some thunderstorms as well. So that's why we got to soak up all the sun that we have for right now, McKenna.
You know, those above normal temperatures for this season. I know we were talking in between the break between our earlier show and this, that for you this is a little strange that these high 40s and 50s are above normal.
Absolutely, because even like, you know, back in Wyoming for me last year, I was still into the upper 50s, 60s at this point consistently. So these 40s are just a little too chilly for me.
My hometown in Dallas, it's going to be 90 on Tuesday.
Texas is completely different. You guys are woo, my thing with Texas.
We'll take what we can get here.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Jolene. Meanwhile, the city is launching its 2022 solar energy programs. It's called Madison. The goal is to expand solar energy capabilities for homes, businesses, affordable housing providers, and nonprofit organizations. Now it's showing off a new array atop the recently constructed Ace Apartments on Acewood Boulevard. The city says those panels will provide all of the electricity needed to power the common areas. Construction of the Black Business Hub is underway. A groundbreaking ceremony is launching the project. Workers are building the facility on South Park Street on Madison's south side. The hub aims to create jobs, generate wealth, incubate new ideas, and nurture Black entrepreneurship in the Madison region.
Under the Black Business Hub, we'll be giving out business planning grants, business expansion grants, partially forgivable loans, and we'll make connections to investor networks given to our kids.
Yesterday's event had a big crowd, including city and county leaders. Governor Tony Evers and Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes were also in attendance. Governor Evers, meanwhile, vetoing a package of Republican-sponsored bills that would have made changes to how elections are run in the state. In vetoing those 8 bills Friday, the governor told lawmakers the right to vote is fundamental to our democracy. The bills are part of a nationwide effort to reshape elections following President Joe Biden's victory over Donald Trump. A free speech survey is not free to proceed, at least not yet. The UW system backed off on sending it out to students this week after some pushback. That included a resignation at UW Whitewater, where the interim chancellor stepped down. Will Kennelly has the reaction from those on the UW-Madison campus.
We had very little heads up, basically.
Students learned a few days before it was supposed to go out that the UW system would be taking the community's temperature on free speech. Facing wide pushback, the UW system decided to delay the survey to the fall.
UW system didn't communicate to us about it. It told people, and we found out through a middleman, basically. Students were not heard. Academic staff and faculty, we voiced our opinions, and it was not heard.
The survey comes during a tense climate of academic freedom and concerns that students with different political ideologies face discrimination. Republican Representative Dave Murphy supports the idea of the survey.
I call it a customer service survey.
Murphy chairs the Assembly Committee on Higher Ed. He says it makes sense to move forward without student input.
You can't allow the subjects that are being researched to be able to do the questions. That doesn't make any sense. It's not scientific.
But there are concerns over the survey itself.
I like many parts of the survey. Some questions, though, are problematic.
That's Eric Sandgren, chair of the UW-Madison Faculty Senate. He says many students responding that they're uncomfortable may mean that the system is working.
If the purpose of higher education is to expose you to the world, to conflicting points of view, to challenge your own preconceptions, then of course you will feel uncomfortable sometimes.
The survey is postponed until at least August. Sandgren will be featured this weekend on For the Record. Tune in Sunday morning at 10:30 to hear more from our conversation. Turning to our COVID-19 coverage now. The mental health crisis among America's youth reportedly only got worse during the COVID pandemic. A new study by the CDC found about 1 in 5 teens early in the pandemic considered suicide. Leila Luciano shows us what one school district is doing to help save lives.
Welcome. In Nicholas Orr's Las Vegas high school classroom, he's teaching more than science.
Right where it says add file. I will be the first to tell you, you matter, you are loved, you are never alone.
Orr says his students returned from remote learning different.
I've had to work with our social workers more times than I can even count, just because so many kids are hurting.
And grieving. In the Clark County School District alone, at least 30 students have died by suicide since the pandemic began. Nationwide, the CDC says 44% of America's high school students reported they persistently felt sad or hopeless in the past year. To confront the challenge, the Clark County School District started a weekly social and emotional learning lesson.
Honestly, it does help a lot. Like, just that moment of like 5 minutes of talking about, oh, today was not the best day.
We met Sierra Vista High School students Maurice, Alex, and Giovanna as they discussed the topic of belonging.
Now that we're all back, I feel like a lot of people are more, like, they're not as willing to just talk to someone new.
What was the impact of that? What are you seeing happening in the school?
People feeling alone, I guess, like they don't really have that many friends, or they feel like they lost a lot of people.
Principal Jessica Lovell brings a therapy dog to school every day and says her teachers know the job takes more than what's required.
Well, I think it goes back to that teacher as kind of have to wear different hats. So am I teaching right now? Am I a therapist right now? Am I talking kids down right now? Am I talking about what's happening in the world?
So go ahead and do that.
Nick Orr knows the consequences of missing the signs of distress.
But if I didn't see this in my own brother, someone with who I was living with, how am I going to see it in someone that I see for 84 minutes every other day?
In August of 2020, Nick's 18-year-old brother Anthony was among those 30 students the district lost to suicide. He had just graduated.
He was popular.
Yeah, popular. He kept everything hidden and on his phone, he didn't vocalize when he needed help.
Saving others is now his mission.
We need to take a lot of pressure off kids as far as grades and academics and put more pressure on happiness and well-being, and just it's okay to not be okay as long as you have a plan to get back to okay.
For Eye on America, Lilia Luciano, CBS News.
Click there where it says click to view this.
Here in Wisconsin, a sign the state's road to recovery is going in the right direction. Dane County health officials saying they will be scaling their local COVID updates to just twice a month, rather than weekly like they've been doing so throughout the pandemic. COVID cases in Dane County ticked up in the last 2 weeks, but hospitalizations have remained stable. Meanwhile, the healthcare workforce is slowly returning back to pre-pandemic levels. That's according to a study published Friday in the journal JAMA Health Forum. About 1.5 million workers lost their jobs when hospitals postponed elective surgeries and clinics closed during the early stages of the pandemic. Still ahead, it's becoming harder and harder for Americans to afford a home. The reasons why and the latest numbers we're seeing. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning, installing Train equipment and servicing all brands.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Everything is relative. Travel, for example. A trip to Stoughton might seem like a long way, but if you're shopping for diamonds, it's closer than you think.
Diamond Select.
Importers of shimmering diamonds from the mines of South Africa to the streets of Antwerp and Tel Aviv. They shop the diamond capitals of the world so you don't have to.
Diamond Select. Direct pricing saves you money.
On GIA certified South African diamonds.
Diamond Select.
Downtown Stoughton.
How do you use your energy? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Welcome back, Bill.
I'm here for some new tires.
Well, you're in luck. It's our tire savings event, so now's the perfect time. Tires a little worn down?
Worn down, exactly. Worn down.
Exactly.
Right now, during our tire savings event, buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
Incoming!
You don't have to love laundry to love Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean. It removes microscopic stains and dirt for a deep, hygienic clean.
At US Cellular, we're local, so we're on the ground every day, working to make sure our 5G network isn't impacted by the local weather.
Get the most out of our 5G network. Choose any phone for free. That's any phone, including the new Galaxy S22, totally free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month.
Because we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. All year round, US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
At Pick and Save, every free pickup order is picked fresh and packed with care, or we'll make it right. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And we're waking up this morning with quite the gift as we have beautiful sunshine here in Madison to kick off our Saturday morning. Temperatures aren't too bad as we're starting to see some improvement into the middle 30s for this morning. At 34 degrees here in Madison, and temperatures around southern Wisconsin are well into those 30s as well. As we have 32 degrees in Platteville and 34 degrees in Janesville. So many of us are starting to rise just above the freezing point as we're kicking things off for our morning. Wind speeds are not much of a factor either, so we're still into the light and variable sense as we're getting into the rest of our morning. But then the afternoon is where we're really going to start to see some pleasantries, folks, as we get into those lower to middle 40s and plenty of sunshine to bout. Now, as we get into the rest of this weekend, just know that this high pressure system is going to be keeping us dry and sunny until we get into our Sunday afternoon, because then we're going to be looking at this low pressure system to start to sweep its way into the upper Midwest, and we're going to be looking at some instability to start to bring in a bit more showers to the upper Midwest for us. But until then, soak it up and enjoy the sunshine while we have it. Temperatures are going to be into lower 40s by lunchtime. And as we get into the evening, upper 40s, and some of us, especially over into the west, are going to be seeing some 50s in our forecast. And then as we get into tonight, some cloud cover will start to roll in. But for the most part, we're going to be on the clearer side. As we get into our Sunday morning, starting off pretty chilly, but temperatures will warm up pretty quickly, especially as we get into the afternoon. Those lower to middle 50s will come in thanks to the southeasterly flow, bringing in more warmth into the upper Midwest. But on top of that, we are going to start to see more moisture content, which is going to be popping up some showers for us as we get into our Sunday nights, carrying into the overnight hours. Could see some light showers carry into the early morning hours of Monday. Before our Monday morning commutes, we're just looking at 40s, some cloud cover, and still on the quiet side. But that's going to be seeing some change as we get into next week, as we are going to be seeing more activity going into our Tuesday afternoon and evening, heading into our Wednesday, and of course for our Thursday as well. But Wednesday, We're going to be looking at some scattered showers that could potentially pop up some thunderstorms for us as well, especially here in southern Wisconsin as we get into Wednesday nights carrying into our Thursday. Then colder air is going to start to roll its way back in, bringing the chances of us to see some flakes or even some more mixtures going into next week. So that's what we're going to be keeping our eye on throughout the next few days, because our temperatures are still trying to be a bit more spring-like as we see more 50s and even some middle 60s into our forecast, but still the April showers are really going to be headlining for us. Anytime we may see some mixtures is going to be overnight, not necessarily during the day, but we are still going to struggle to get into those 60s to be more consistent, but we're going to take what we can get, right? That's the theme.
Definitely a very Wisconsin spring. Maybe a little bit more sun would be nice, but the April showers, the temperatures, very Wisconsin. I mean, I don't have numbers to back that up. I'm not the meteorologist here. It's just I've been here a couple of years.
Fine. But from what I've seen, even with the data, you're not wrong. It's pretty typical for us to see this amount of precipitation, but the temperatures are still a little bit below average for us. So that's one thing we got to bump up in terms of our numbers.
I'm fine with higher temperatures.
So am I.
All right, thanks, Jillian.
Yeah.
Americans are more in debt than ever before. That's according to the Federal Reserve's Consumer Credit Report. In that report, it says consumer credit jumped by nearly $42 billion in February. That puts it at a record high of $4.5 trillion. $1.1 trillion of that is what's known as revolving credit. It includes credit cards, and the category jumped more than 11% during the 12-month period ending in February. Non-revolving credit, which includes student and car loans, grew 8.4% to hit $3.4 trillion. Buying a home is also becoming less affordable for more Americans. According to a new report, home prices in most areas are up at least 10% from a year ago. Home prices have now outpaced wage growth in most markets, and for more than half of the counties included in the report, the cost of ownership was way over the 30% income guideline. We've already seen it every time we go to the grocery store, and the Department of Agriculture says you can expect food prices to continue skyrocketing. And this is because of a number of different factors. The first being a workforce shortage industry-wide. Next is the issue of supply. President of the Wisconsin Grocers Association, Brendan Scholes, says grocery stores are having a really tough time keeping up with demand. And the last major impact, skyrocketing fuel prices, have led to surcharges for product movement. Scholes says all three of these factors, along with several others, have caused a perfect storm of sorts for high prices at the grocery store.
We have price increases, and we've had them now for quite some time. Hopefully they won't continue in the grocery store and at the gas pump. But as long as we have a supply chain that is crippled in a sense because of the workforce challenges, we're going to see this go on for quite some time.
Scholes says that grocery store owners do not want to raise prices the way they have over the past several months. He said it makes it harder to keep customers and compete in the industry anytime prices go up. Meanwhile, the avian flu is having a large impact on the country's egg supply. Thursday, Midwest retailers paid more than double the price for large eggs. And analysts say if things keep going the way they are, we can expect pricier eggs through the summer. The CDC says the avian flu poses a low threat to humans. Meanwhile, Wisconsin's Agriculture Agency suspending all poultry shows, exhibitions, and swap meets through the end of May as it tries to stop the spread of the bird flu. The Agriculture Department encourages poultry owners to practice strict biosecurity or keep flocks indoors when possible. Forward Madison FC will be wearing some new jerseys this weekend, how they honor victims of Ukraine. And there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Bill shares his picks in 3 things to watch. Trending news is just ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday.
Dylan, how's the cash situation with all the price increases?
Honestly, not that great.
Well, Slumberland can help. It's our biggest finance sales event of the year. Get this sectional for just $20 a month when you spend $1,200 and pay no interest for 5 years.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement. So take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
More Americans are growing their own vegetables than ever before. At Garden Mats, we're here to help people supplement their food supply with fresh, organic vegetables. Whether you are a beginner, novice, or master gardener, Garden Mats make gardening a breeze. Spend your summers trying to keep up with each other, not your weeds. Go to gardenmats.com and plan your garden today.
From working out to catching up, and of course, game night, your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 77 years. And during our 77th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $77. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Grilled chicken, crunchy bacon, mozzarella, covered in creamy buffalo sauce. Now that is an expression.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great.
In my oven.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Things were really starting to turn worse for my mom. They basically said, that's all we can do.
Right to try is hope when there is no hope.
We had done research on the Zysamy. Apparently it was still in stage 3 clinical trials.
She couldn't have that medication unless it was for the Right to Try Act and Senator Johnson's work.
This is 3 days after the treatment, and you can see the difference. You know, without the efforts of Senator Johnson, my mom wouldn't be here today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement, so take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
Oh, my back.
Hey Dylan, need a mattress? Well, luckily Slumberland has a big Sealy sale. Look what you can get for $20 a month. A Sealy Posturepedic mattress and a power base. And you'll pay no interest for 5 years at Slumberland Furniture.
Well, we have to show off the sun this morning because we haven't gotten a whole lot of it in the last few days. So as we take a look outside, nice and high in the sky is that sunshine. But as we go in throughout the rest of today, we're still going to be dealing with the sun throughout much of our afternoon and even into the late evening hours. So that's the good news, especially as temperatures go to rise into the middle 40s for us by the early afternoon hours. But for right now, temperatures are trying to warm themselves up, but it's going to take a little time as it's 34 degrees in Madison and Janesville as of right now with 33 over into Platteville. Now, as we plan out the rest of today, as I mentioned, plenty of sunshine is going to be sticking around for us. Temperatures will be into the upper 40s, which is just going to show that it's going to be pretty pleasant as winds won't be too bad for us. However, a high pressure system is going to be into the upper Midwest. What this is going to mean for us? Well, just expect more dry conditions, plenty of sunshine, and a whole lot of cloud cover will stick around for us. But on the back end, which is over towards the Great Plains and northern Wyoming, we can see that low, which is going to start to roll its way in, still bringing in some warmer air for us as we get into our Sunday, but behind it, it's going to also bring in some more moisture, which is going to be bringing in some showers late into Sunday. But until then, soak up the sun and enjoy the temperatures while we have it, because we're going to be looking at these quiet conditions until, once again, we get into Sunday. We'll have more details coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
Thanks, Julian. Yeah, as you said, great day to get outside, soak up the sun, maybe go see some soccer. Forward Madison FC even unveiling some new jerseys Friday. They'll be worn this weekend. They feature blue and yellow colors with the words United for Ukraine displayed across the front. Uniform also features a sunflower patch on the sleeve, which has become the symbol of resistance to the Russian invasion in Ukraine.
I think it's very important. I think, when we're able to come together as a community, as a team, to support something bigger than just, ourselves, something bigger that's impacting the world.
Today's game is the team's home opener. They'll play against Union Omaha at Breese-Stevens Field. There's clearly no shortage of films and shows streaming. Our Will Loper shares a few of the best in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
Celia.
It's been a long time.
Newly streaming on Amazon Prime Video is the spy thriller All the Old Knives.
They've opened the books on Flight 127. The hijackers had help from inside our station here in Vienna. We need to find out if we had a mole.
And DeWay Newton and Chris Pine play CIA agents with a past, tracking down a mole in their agency.
Someone in our station betrayed us.
What about you?
They cleared me.
Really?
If we started shouting mole, that would have been it for all of us.
We look at the evidence, we follow the facts.
Are you accusing me?
We want to keep this quiet. We can't afford the embarrassment of a prosecution. If it's Celia Harrison, I need to know the man I send can do what's necessary.
All the Old Knives is streaming on Amazon Prime Video now.
What we had was real, wasn't it?
Hey, you're Keith Knight. I'm an ally. I still post black squares to Instagram every week.
Actually, you can stop doing that.
Keith is not just an artist, he is an activist.
The correct term is artivist.
Okay.
Newly streaming on Hulu is the second season of Woke.
I do hate police brutality, but I have to talk about other issues.
So you can't solve one thing, but you're going to solve everything.
Lamorne Morris is back as a cartoonist, navigating the pull between success and having something to say.
Bigger platform comes with a bigger microscope, and activists are vicious.
Hella vicious. I told you I got this.
Share your thoughts on hunger.
Daylight savings time.
Save the tree frogs, brother.
All 10 episodes of Woke are streaming on Hulu now.
Y'all gotta get some black and brown folks in here to tell you that black Wi-Fi matters or whatever stupid slogan you come up with next ain't cool.
I love you to death, but I just cannot wait any longer. That is why I'm giving this ultimatum.
And new on Netflix this week is the latest bingeable dating show, The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On.
You're not sure you want to marry your current partner. The risk is that they're going to find someone else who is.
Several couples must decide if their relationship will survive an ultimatum or if dating someone new for a month changes everything.
This is our first morning back together. We came here as a couple, but it's about figuring out what's best as individual people.
The first 8 episodes of The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On are streaming on Netflix now.
It is now time to make a decision.
Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
Up next, details after a young man was arrested in DeForest. What plans he may have been intending to carry out when we return.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Oh, baby, I have sinned. Baby, this is my last confession. You know I've never been no good. But when I'm with you, it feels like heaven. I'm begging for mercy, baby. Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
Okay, let's start with some clouds, some mountains over there, and finally a river. Hey, Dad, look.
Looks like the perfect spot.
American Family Insurance is here to protect your family on the road with the Travel Peace of Mind package. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance.
This is Iowa. We just haven't been properly introduced. Say hello to the place where rolling hills meets low bills, where our fields, inside and out, are always growing, and where the fun is just getting started. This is Iowa. So, when are you coming to see us?
For decades, Washington politicians have promised to lower the cost of prescription drugs. But every year the prices go up. Why? Because Republicans like Ron Johnson, and let's be honest, too many Democrats don't have the guts to stand up to the pharmaceutical companies. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and I will. I want to bring practical solutions to Washington. That's what I've done as state treasurer. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and the big drug companies may not approve this message, but I do.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Coming up on News 3 Now this morning, why a UW exchange student credits a Madison police officer for saving her life.
And we're finally waking up to some sunshine. We'll tell you how long to expect it coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and send over to Julian Searett for a look at your Saturday forecast. Julian, we got some sun out there.
That's right. We finally have some sun, and it's going to be a brief one for us. Even though we will see it throughout the rest of today, going into our Sunday, well, clouds are going to be right back for us, and that's what we're going to get into in just a moment. But as of right now, we're waking up with temperatures to be just above freezing here in Madison. 34 degrees as of right now, but we're going to improve pretty nicely as we head into the afternoon with the lower 40s by lunchtime, and as we get into the early evening, well, we're going to be seeing those middle to upper 40s as well. Temperatures as of right now, 34 degrees in Janesville with 33 in Platteville. Many of us are just above freezing or just near freezing as of right now, but still not feeling too bad since we're pretty much accustomed to it here in southern Wisconsin. Now, as we get into this afternoon, as I mentioned, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will be into those lower middle 40s, but as we get into the evening, that's where we're going to start to see some 50s starting to roll in, especially over towards the west and areas into the south. Now, as we go into tonight, all that clear sky is going to start off pretty quickly. However, as we get into the later part, we're going to see some cloud cover pretty early. Then we'll start to see clearing as we get into our Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon is when we can expect more cloudy conditions to roll in. But note, temperatures are going to be into the upper and middle 50s, and plenty of that southeasterly flow is going to be funneling in warmer air force as we get into our Sunday evening. Then for Sunday nights, with all that cloud cover and the moisture that's been added, we're going to be seeing some pop-up showers throughout southern Wisconsin as we get into the later part of our Sunday night and carry into our Monday morning. We have other things to talk about as well, but of course, we are out of time for right now. So we're going to go ahead and toss it back to you, McKenna, and get into more details later on.
All right, thanks, Julian. An AR-15 rifle, 6 loaded magazines, multiple sets of handcuffs, and a notebook with a name and address in it. That's what was found inside a car parked outside a woman's home last month. The man behind the wheel, dressed in all black, 19-year-old Gabriel Savage. Friday, he was officially charged with attempted kidnapping and stalking.
In law enforcement, it's often said that success is sometimes measured by what doesn't happen. And in the case that we're here to talk about today, that is absolutely true.
DeForest police yesterday sharing the details of his arrest and crediting people looking out for their neighborhood. Tyler Moladine shares those details.
Okay, it looks like we have Mr. Savage and counsel back.
DeForest teen accused of attempted kidnapping, Gabriel Savage, making his initial appearance in court.
We're able to stop an unimaginable tragedy.
After a tip on March 20th led to his arrest, a caller telling police of a suspicious car in the area.
In this case, a citizen saw something they thought was suspicious, and they reached out to our department because they put their trust in us.
In the car was Savage, slow to respond to commands, dressed in all black, wearing a mask to only show his eyes.
He just said he was driving around, I believe.
But what officers saw suggested otherwise. They found multiple loaded magazines, a semi-automatic rifle, and 2 pairs of handcuffs.
This is one where I would be very cautious in this situation.
According to the criminal complaint, in 2018, he had commented online about committing a mass shooting at school. It reads, he told his psychiatrist nothing would have happened if he got laid.
Conduct that's being alleged here is pretty concerning and pretty serious.
Later in Savage's car, his parents found a notepad with, quote, alarming writings, which included the name and address close to where he was parked of a woman Savage was reportedly infatuated with.
The detail that's in the writings are something that raises our elevation of the seriousness of it.
Officers then finding more notes in his apartment that mention drugging a woman, holding her at gunpoint, and sexually assaulting her.
Definitely caused us a higher level of concern.
Chief James Olson thankful for his officers' due diligence, able to prevent what he says could have been a significant tragedy.
Proud of the work that they do. The officers here are dedicated public servants, and in this case, it's just another example of how hard they work.
If convicted for attempted kidnapping, Savage could be fined of up to $50,000 and face up to 20 years in prison. Meanwhile, the downtown Madison homicide suspect, who was hospitalized Thursday, is now back in jail. Online records showed 25-year-old Amon Galtney was returned Friday morning, but we still haven't gotten an update as to why he was admitted to the hospital. Now, Galtney was one of 2 people arrested in connection to a deadly shooting outside the Dane County Jail in downtown Madison last week. That resulted in 32-year-old Dwayne Lee Collins Jr. dead. The 19-year-old man charged in a deadly shooting outside a Beloit high school in January is now back in Wisconsin. Emery Goodall is now in the Rock County Jail after being extradited from Michigan. He was arrested late last month in Ottawa County and waived his right to an extradition hearing. Goodall faces 1 felony count of first-degree reckless homicide in the shooting death of 19-year-old John Broomfield. Meanwhile, the Sheboygan Falls mom, accused of killing her son, will be evaluated before her trial starts. The judge ruled there is probable cause for Natalia Hitchcock to undergo a competency evaluation ahead of her trial. Hitchcock told police she suffocated her 8-year-old son. She's also accused of trying to drown her other son. Hitchcock told police that she was worried about being sold on the dark web and having her children taken away from her. She's due back in court on May 9th. The right place at the right time. That plus training turned a heart-stopping moment into a heartwarming reunion Friday. We had the chance to talk with a young woman studying in Madison, far from her home, who's here today thanks to a police officer who acted quickly.
We were just shopping, just enjoying our company.
Siobhan Wren is a 20-year-old exchange student at UW-Madison from the UK who suddenly collapsed last Friday in Middleton off of Century Avenue.
I have no recollection of feeling any sort of way that wasn't normal before the incident.
One of Siobhan's friends waved down patrolling officer Cesar Salinas, who immediately called dispatch to send EMS.
In my 11 years, I've never had a person such as Siobhan, being 20 years old, young, fit, healthy, and from what I know, go from talking to not breathing. It just went in, I kind of just went into autopilot, and we started CPR right away.
Siobhan was taken to UW Hospital with no recollection of the event and was diagnosed with a cardiac arrest.
I felt fine, but I was reading this really shocking thing that had happened, and I just couldn't really put 2 and 2 together, I think. And then being told that, you know, I had collapsed and my heart had stopped and I'd had all these serious medical events happen to me.
Officer Salinas used his experience as a father to see her family's needs as well. And getting Siobhan her phone was key in that.
My primary objective was to get her back her phone. Again, thinking not as a police officer, but with my parent hat on, knowing that her parents were in the UK, that phone is crucial.
Just feeling like somebody cares enough to, go the extra mile. I think being able to FaceTime the people I needed to FaceTime and see them in real life is really what I needed, I think, in those moments.
Siobhan was left with a feeling of comfort knowing she was in good care until the moment she walked out of the hospital doors on Wednesday.
It's not much I can really say. It's more of a feeling of just complete and utter, thankfulness.
That was Susan Simon and photojournalist Brian Troxel reporting. Siobhan says that she now has a pacemaker installed that doctors believe will prevent this from happening again. For that, she says that she has peace of mind. Still ahead, the Wisconsin Film Festival returned to Madison this week. We have a look at some of the featured films when we return.
We're USA Insulation, and our premium injection foam turns your cold and drafty house into a warm and toasty home. Call now and save $500 on whole home insulation.
USA Insulation.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
When you open a jar of Better Than Bouillon, you open up dinner time to great flavor. Chicken, beef, seasoned vegetable, roasted garlic. With Better Than Bouillon, the possibilities are endless. Make your everything better with Better Than Bouillon. Don't just make it better.
When you get hurt in an accident, do you know who to call?
Call Gruber Law Offices.
Everybody knows that.
The call and consultation are always free.
Hurt in an accident?
Everybody knows you call Gruber Law Offices.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Imagine being able to fill your home for $99 a month. With the power of Bob's discount, it's possible. Take my Blake dining set for only $5.99. Add my best-selling Laurel sofa and love seat, only $9.99. And throw in my 5-piece Tremont Queen bedroom set for only $9.99. Math time. That's a house full of furniture for...
Calculating.
$25.97 or $99 per month for 30 months, totaling $29.70 with qualified special financing. Because with Bob's discount...
Math is fun.
We're USA Insulation, and our premium injection foam turns your cold and drafty house into a warm and toasty home. Call now and save $500 on whole home insulation.
USA Insulation.
A Lake Mills resident stuck on a waiting list for boat slip access. A wait that could last a lifetime. And some who have access don't even live here.
The city residents should have that benefit.
Leah Linscheid spotlights this call for action Sunday at 10.
Are you excited to ride in the fire truck?
Kind of, I'm gonna make it.
A Sauk City woman turns 100 years old in style. We'll show you how they're celebrating this milestone in a special birthday wish, Monday, only on News 3 Now this morning.
Well, this weekend, we're going to be looking at plenty of sunshine and dry conditions for us. However, what's our new week going to be looking like? Well, folks, we're looking at another active pattern to be rolling in with bringing showers going in from Tuesday evening to Tuesday nights. Wednesday, we are looking at potentials of seeing some thunderstorms around southern Wisconsin that could carry into our Thursday morning as well. And then we are not ruling out the fact of potentially seeing some more mixing or even some light snowfall showers as well as we get into our Thursday and potentially even into our Friday as well of next week. So this is a few things we're going to be keeping in mind as temperatures are still going to be below average as we head into next week and over the next few days as well. We're still not going to be hitting where we are usually, which is into those middle to upper 50s around this time of year. And precipitation outlook, we're actually going to be looking to be dry in just a couple of weeks as well. So definitely going to need this activity that we're going to be seeing over the next few days because we are still trying to get out of that moderate drought that we're still dealing with. But we're going to have more information on what else to expect coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. The Wisconsin Film Festival kicked off on Thursday, but don't fret, you can still get tickets and see one of the 150 films. Photojournalist Christopher Habecker has a preview.
Kimmy? I'm here.
What time is it?
It's 7:26 a.m.
Kimmy?
I'm here.
Call Dr. Burns.
Feels like old times. It feels like, oh yeah, we're back to doing what we do. It was 2 long years out in the wilderness, and now we're back home.
So the Wisconsin Film Festival is going to be back in person for the first time since 2019. We're going to be screening over 150 films across Madison on and off the UW campus.
So this year, it's really easier than ever to get tickets. With the ticketing system we have now, you can buy a ticket for a film right up until showtime. You can do it on your smartphone. On campus, we're at the Marquee, we're at Shannon Hall, we're at 4070 Vilas Hall, which we call UW Cinematheque, and we're also at the Chazen Museum of Art. And then we have 3 screens at AMC Madison 6.
Filmmakers from across the country and around the world are going to come to Madison and share their films with us for the first time. A lot of these films have only premiered online. For some filmmakers, this is going to be one of the first times they get to experience their films in a theater with an audience.
He was all about presentation. Whether it was the business, the house.
After my father unexpectedly died, he left behind a huge archive of all these pictures and images and writings that kind of revealed this person, I had never known. I pursued that, and at first I was making the film just for myself, as a way to kind of work through this material that my dad left, as a way to kind of film what I was seeing and then try to piece it together in the edit room as a way of me trying to work through something and to paint this portrait of, the person who my dad was and his true struggle with substance abuse.
Everything looks so young.
It does.
Do you see him in the landscaping?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Every time I look at it. That's why we put the bush from his funeral right on the end there.
Yeah, Jace made, we're calling it a documentary, but that's probably not the most accurate term for this film. It's an autobiographical where he sort of sorts out his feelings about his father. I would say it's an experimental documentary.
I've always wanted to be deaf.
We had these 2 films, Jace's film, which is almost a half an hour, and then another film called Only I Can Hear, which is sort of timely in that the film Coda just won Best Picture, and this is a documentary that deals with real-life CODA. CODA stands for Children of Deaf Adults.
I come from a culture that most people don't understand. They think I was raised by awful or stupid people.
A lot of the documentary takes place at a summer camp right here in Wisconsin that's designed specifically for CODA to come and be with other CODA. And this is a really intimate and fascinating look at some of those people. This is the real CODA.
And so being there where it's happening, especially the Wisconsin Film Festival is so great at bringing in the filmmakers that you are going to be able to, sit in an audience with this energy that you've never felt.
The Wisconsin Film Festival runs through next week. For tickets and a full list of films, just go to wifilmfest.org for more information. Still ahead, a historical mission to the International Space Station, what it means for space travel in the future. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
From working out to catching up, and of course, game night, your home is the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 77 years. And during our 77th anniversary event, carpet installation is just $77. Coyle Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful, made affordable. Locally owned and operated since 1945.
Enough! This doom and gloom ends now.
It's time for a brighter view. Let the sun shine in with 2-for-1 windows from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
2-for-1 windows from Feldco ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows. windows, siding, and doors. Call 866 for Feldco.
Here's why it's smart to custom order your Ford SUV, because custom orders receive priority. You'll get an extra 1,000 order bonus plus incentive protection, guaranteeing you the best offer now or at delivery. And the features you choose. Want an EPA estimated 41 combined MPG in an Escape Hybrid? A 12-inch touchscreen in an Edge? You got it. In a Ford built your way. Custom order your new Ford SUV or truck today and receive an extra 1,000 retail order bonus cash.
Grass looks great, Zeus. Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin. You want me to do the boxwoods as well?
No. Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, we're waking up this morning with quite the gift. We're finally getting some sunshine here in Madison as we wake up to start off our Saturday morning. And temperatures are starting to improve, even though we're around 34 degrees as of right now here in Madison. Well, we are still looking at temperatures around southern Wisconsin to be around that. As we kick it off throughout the rest of this morning, getting into the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures get into those lower and middle 40s as we go into the rest of our afternoon and even into our evening hours. But plenty of sunshine is going to stick around for us, which is, of course, the good news for us. Here's a look at our weekend forecast. 49 degrees looks to be our high for us today. But as we get into Sunday, winds will start to pick up as we have that southeasterly flow bringing in some warmer air for us. And 56 degrees looks to be our high as well. But we are going to see some more drier conditions and plenty of sunshine thanks to this high pressure system into the upper Midwest. But that's going to be very brief as this low is going to be moving that high out, bringing in some more of that moisture that we are going to be seeing heading into our Sunday nights. And on top of it, this warmer air is going to be sticking around throughout the next few days. On top of it, though, this is what we're going to be seeing for today. Plenty of open sky. Temperatures will be into the 40s as we get into around the lunchtime hour. And even for this evening, areas into the west from Prairie du Chien all the way to Lone Rock could even see around 50 degrees for us for today. However, for tonight, that's when we're going to start to see some cloud cover just very briefly start to roll itself in overnight. And as we get into our Sunday morning, we're still looking at some pretty quiet conditions. But of course, what we're keeping our eye on is our Sunday evening. We're looking at more of those warmer temperatures starting to roll in for us. Plenty of cloud cover as well. But we are going to start to see some of that moisture start to bring in some pop-up showers throughout our Sunday nights that could carry into our Monday morning as well before it starts to clear off. However, around the Monday morning commutes around 7 to 8 o'clock, we're looking for quiet conditions, but it will be on the cloudier side. One other thing we're going to be keeping our eye on is next week from Tuesday into Wednesday into Thursday, we are looking at shower potential. However, for our Wednesday into Thursday, those showers could bring up in spring some thunderstorm potential for us that could carry into the overnight hours into early Thursday morning. Some areas, especially central into northern Wisconsin, could see some mixing or even some light snowfall. But as we go into our Friday, we're looking for pretty much the shower chances to start to dwindle, but we're still looking at cloud cover for us here in southern Wisconsin. So the three things we're going to need to know is that this weekend is going to be on the drier side, but a slow warm up. Temperatures will be just above normal heading into Sunday and going into our Wednesday, but showers for the first half of next week are going to be expected. And on top of the showers, as I mentioned, as we get into Wednesday, we are looking for some scattered thunderstorms to be a possibility to roll in as well, coming in from our Wednesday afternoon into our Wednesday night. So plenty of opportunity for some more April showers for us. We definitely need the rain, but that's why I'm also going to really indulge into the sun that we have this weekend.
I'm really, sometimes getting up in the middle and it's a little hard. We get the whole day to enjoy that sunshine.
And I'm so ready for it.
I'm going to be outside today.
Me as well.
Thanks, Jillian. 4 private citizens are on a rocket ride to space. It's the first fully commercial flight to the International Space Station. The 10-day mission shines a spotlight on an aerospace company with big plans for the future. Manuel Barocas reports from Florida's Kennedy Space Center.
Godspeed, Axiom 1.
The picture-perfect liftoff from the Kennedy Space Center marks yet another turning point in human spaceflight. Flying on board, the first all-private crew headed to the International Space Station.
Together, a new chapter begins.
American Larry Connor, Canadian Mark Pathy, and Israeli Eitan Stibbe are each paying millions of dollars for the trip. The commander of the 10-day mission is former NASA astronaut Michael Lopez Alegria, who retired 10 years ago after logging more than 250 days in orbit.
I've been advocating for commercial human spaceflight since I left NASA. And, thinking that I would do that from the sidelines as a cheerleader, and now I get, the ball on first and goal. It's a wonderful opportunity. I couldn't be happier.
While SpaceX is providing the ride, another company, Axiom Space, is managing the mission. The crew will work alongside professional astronauts once they reach the space station. Lopez Alegria says that makes them more than space tourists.
These guys are eager, they're smart. I think the most important quality that they have is they want to perform.
Axiom's CEO spent 30 years at NASA, and the company plans to build the first commercial space station.
This is the first step in a number of flights that allow us to work with NASA to learn how to operate together.
Enjoy your trip to that wonderful space station in the sky.
For now, it's all eyes on Axiom 1, scheduled to dock at the space station Saturday morning, setting the foundation for a new era of space adventure.
The crew is scheduled to return on April 19th. Stick with News 3 Now all weekend. Brad will have the day's top stories tonight at 6 and 10. But first, we have one more look at your Saturday weather coming up next.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
You call me devious, but you don't understand that all I am is a little mysterious.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Exciting things call for a drum roll, like this new offer on one of Wisconsin's favorite lotto games. It's Super Cash with Lightning Ball. During April, there's a 1 in 3 chance that the Lightning Ball strikes a set of 2 plays. When it does, players get an extra number, which means better odds of winning a prize. Top prize not included. Only in April. This exciting offer from the Wisconsin Lottery is going fast.
To love laundry to love Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean. It removes microscopic stains and dirt for a deep, hygienic clean.
You can bring your best friend with you, and I'd love to have you stay. This house is yours.
How about this?
You can always come around.
It's gonna work.
I think so too.
American Family Insurance wants to help you bring your dream home to life. New homeowners can save an average of 22%. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
If you love golf and helping kids in your community, then you should support the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin. The First Tee uses the game of golf to make a difference for kids, like us, by teaching vital life skills, like honesty, integrity, and respect. Wisconsin has the largest achievement gap in the country, and First Tee's educational programs are uniquely designed to narrow that gap. Empower us by making an online donation to the First Tee at firstteescw.org.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Julian's giving me a look because I just told him I like mustard on burgers.
Only mustard, not ketchup at all.
No,
That's so
it's
weird.
baseball season. You put mustard on hot dogs.
And so ketchup is on it too.
No, people in Chicago would not like you.
Oh, is that what that is?
It's a thing, yeah. I mean, I'm not from Chicago.
Chicago has a lot of fixings on their hot dogs, though.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah,
like Chicago dogs are
quite
fine.
Excessive. For me. Sorry,
bit,
not for you guys. It's perfect for y'all, but for me, it's a little excessive.
Don't want to offend anyone. It's okay if you like a lot of things on your hot dog.
I hear it's A1.
Anyway, we have to bring it to you though. This forecast you maybe won't love.
Well, this forecast is looking just very April. We will be below our average temperatures for the next few days, but we're still going to be into the 50s for the most part. Plenty of April showers into next week, folks. So expect another wet week ahead, but enjoy the sun while we have it for this weekend.